Good morning, second grade. Today's Thursday. When we're not in school, I have to remind myself of what day of the week it is, because sometimes things kind of get all jumbled up when we're not on a regular schedule. So today is Thursday. It's April 2nd. Today is day 4 of our learning at home, so I'm going to go ahead and get started on what you are working on today. As you can see, Gus has decided to join me this morning, and he has something with him. He has a clock because in our math paper today, we're going to work on telling time. So he might be jumping in and helping us as needed. Okay, day 4. So starting off with your independent reading for 20 minutes, okay, and then the questions, nonfiction or fiction. Today, only choose one question. I see that three is quite a bit. So today and tomorrow, I only want you to do one. So if you're reading a fiction book, you're going to choose only one question. Nonfiction book, just one question. Okay, so we have reading, writing, grammar, and math. Okay, you're going to be reading a passage on soil. Now, at the very end of this lesson here that I'm teaching, for those of you who would like, I am going to read this passage out loud. There are many tricky words in this passage, so if anyone needs a little bit of extra help, I'm going to read it at the end of this lesson. Okay, so for those of you who don't need to listen to my reading of the passage, you're going to read the passage on soil. You see the word oil in soil? That's what helps me looking for parts that I know within words. That's one strategy that'll help us figure out what the sounds and the words are. Okay, so read the passage on soil. You'll see that there are some section breaks here, some headers. Remember, those are meant to help you understand what you're going to be reading in that paragraph or that section. Okay, so here it says, what is soil? So what do we expect to learn about in that paragraph? Well, what soil is. The next section says, why is soil so important? Okay, so remember, those headings are a way for the author to let us know what we're going to be learning about in that passage. After you read the passage, there is a comprehension question. Comprehension question checks your understanding of what you just read. So the question is, what is the main idea of these two passages? So what were these two passages mainly about? What is the big idea here? What is the author trying to teach you? Okay, the next page, recycling resources. Okay, and we have learned about recycling in science. We've talked about it, so this is not new to you. So it talks about natural resources, and we know natural resources are things that are natural. Can you list a few of those resources? Things that are in nature. Natural comes from nature, the word. Okay, so what are some things in nature that are natural resources? Okay, if you said wood, right? Trees, things that we use to make things. Air, water, plants, rocks, minerals, those are all natural resources, and I'm sure you can think of many more. Okay, so read the directions. It says, getting and processing natural resources can require a lot of energy. This can create pollution. Okay, recycling existing goods into other materials can save energy and reduce waste. There are many ways each of us can help. Buying less, reusing what we can, composting and recycling are some ways to save natural resources. How can you help? Now remember, composting means to take those food scraps, okay, those things we might use when we bake or cook eggshells, banana peels, potato peels, any scraps of food, and putting it into a bin. And remember, the worms come and they eat up and they compost that food, breaking it down. Okay, so I want you to finish the sentences that are started. I can buy less blank. Okay, think of things that are going to help the environment. I can use less blank. What's something maybe that you use too much of that is not necessarily good for the environment? What can you use less of? Okay, I can save energy by blank. I can compost, and here might be a list of some things you might be able to compost from your kitchen. I can recycle. What are some things you can recycle? And I can also blank. So maybe there's some other things you can help the environment with. Okay, next page, bicycle ride. This one's pretty straightforward. You've been doing this all week. Write each sentence using correct capitalization and punctuation. Okay, so fix those sentences up and remember to use your second grade writing size. Okay, and lastly, we have telling time, 5-minute intervals. Now, parents, this is something I haven't taught yet. Second grade hasn't taught yet either. So I'm just going to do a real brief lesson here. I miraculously found a Judy clock lying around here last week, and this morning when I was going over the lesson for today, I had to run through my house and find it, and I was glad I was able to. I'm glad I have this with me. Okay, so boys and girls, just a quick review. Okay, so here's the clock. There's 12 numbers on the clock, starting with 12, okay, all the way to, well, going back to 12. There's 2 hands. On this clock, because it's for instructional purposes, one of the hands is red and one of the hands is blue. You probably remember this, a lot of it from kindergarten and first grade. So the short red hand is the hour hand. The hour hand tells us which hour it is. The minute hand tells us how many minutes after the hour it is. Okay? So right now, the hour hand is on the 11 and the minute hand is on 60. Okay? So this is showing 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. You'll notice the little numbers that are next to the red numbers. This is helpful for us because it tells us how many minutes it is after the hour. So if I were to start at 11 o'clock and move my minute hand, each of these little dots is 1 minute. So this is called clockwise direction when we go to the right around the clock. So if I move in a clockwise direction, okay, my hour hand is on the 11, so moving in this way. So this is 1 minute after 11. So this is 11:01. Okay, 11:02, 11:03, 11:04, 11:05. You will notice that every time you hit one of the hours, it's a 5-minute jump. So if I jump from the 1 to the 2, okay, there's 5 minutes and now it's 10 minutes. That's because it's 5 minutes between each of these numbers. So here we have 11, and we're going to go ahead and just practice counting by 5s going around the clock. 11, 11:05, 11:10, 11:15, 11:20, 11:25, 11:30, 11:35, 11:40, 11:45, 11:50, 11:55, and then when it comes back to the 12, that minute hand kind of pushes the hour hand to the next hour, and after 55 is 60. But have you ever heard anyone say 11:60 before? No. when you push it to the next hour, it is now 12 o'clock. Okay, the hour hand's on the 12 and the minute hand is on the 12, so it's 12 o'clock. Okay, so that's just a brief little lesson. We're going to be talking about time more later. Okay, so they want you to show in the first clock 7:35. 7:35. Well, let me demonstrate on my little clock here. So the hour is what comes before the two dots. Okay? So you'll see that it's 7:35. The hour comes first. So I need to make sure my hour hand, my little hand, is on the 7, and my blue hand, my minute hand, the minutes are shown after the dot dot. So 7 is the hour and the 35 is the minute. So I'm going to take my minute hand and I'm going to count by 5s until I get to 35. Well, you'll see I do have a little cheater here on this clock, but you don't have one in front of you. So you're going to have to go ahead and count by 5s. Okay, so starting at 12, this is like starting at 0. I almost wish it said 0, 0 here instead of 60. Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Well, that's fun. Both hands are on the same number here. So the hour is 7. I'm going to push it so you can see it. And the minutes is 35. So I'm going to go ahead and draw in 7:35 on my clock. Okay? So I'll do this the best I can. The short hand is the hour, 7. And then my longer hand, and if you want to use 2 different colors for this, you can do that too. So 7, and then my longer hand is the minute hand, 7:35. Parents, please feel free to help your child with this. Use a pencil. Well, maybe you want to use colored pencils. I said use 2 different colors, but okay. So that's what 7:35 is going to be. Now the next one, 10:40. Now remember, 10 is the hour, 40 is the minutes. Okay? Red hand is the hour, blue hand is the minute. So starting at 10 o'clock, red hand on the hour, then take your blue hand and count by 5s until you get to 40 minutes after the hour. I understand that you don't have a little clock like this. Just do your best. Do your best. And parents, again, don't be afraid or hesitant to help. Okay? Okay, I'm going to pause this video because yesterday my video was too long. So I will do another short video just reading the passage on soil. Okay? Questions, comments, concerns, please send me a message or post below. Okay? Have a great day.